Think I'm live. Let's get this up. Hello, all. Welcome to week 14 of the NFL season. Last season for a lot of leagues, or not last season, last game of the regular season for fantasy leagues. Some leagues start playoffs this week. Some may start next. Most probably start next. And some could start maybe the week after. But big week this week, regardless of if you are already in playoffs or on the verge of playoffs. Hopefully everybody could get a bye. I know not everybody can have a bye, but hopefully you can make playoffs. We got a great game scheduled for tonight. Hopefully lots of action-packed offense, as I'm sure a lot of players or people have players in this game. Both offenses known to be some of the best in the league. And let's see. I think I saw St. Brown is active, right? I think I saw that one. That surprised me. St. Brown is listed as active. Maybe he's a bit of a decoy tonight, but we shall see. We have no idea. But we do know that Amon-Ra is very tough. And since he wants to play tonight, and he's cleared, he's going to play. So I still think Jameson Williams will have a good game. I did not know Amon-Ra was going to be active, but hopefully we get a good game. I think the over-under is like 53 or something like that, 53 and a half. So a lot of scoring expected. A lot of scoring expected tonight. A lot of scoring expected tonight. A lot of things hinging on tonight as well in terms of playoff potential. Lots of big implications here because the Cowboys are actually only one game back from the Eagles. Surprisingly. Cowboys are not out of it in their division. And the Lions are 2 games back. So, and they got 2 teams in front of them, the Bears and the Packers. So, Lions pretty much a must win. And even if they win tonight, it is still not guaranteed for them to make playoffs. They do not control their own destiny at this point. With Bears and Packers both ahead of them. So this is a very important game for the Lions. Important game for the Cowboys too, but I believe the Cowboys have a little more wiggle room. Oh no, they don't play the Eagles anymore. So yeah. Big game. Big game tonight. On the Lions side of the football, we talked about Amon-Ra St. Brown playing. Might be a decoy. Expect Jameson Williams to have a good game. Jahmyr Gibbs hopefully has a good game. Have him in the spotlight. David Montgomery probably going to get worked in. They'll try to get him some goal line work to, give him some type of value. Uh, but just depending on if he gets into the end zone or not. And then Tom Kennedy and Isaac TeSlaa as the other big receivers. I think a lot of people might have taken a shot on TeSlaa uh, in the thoughts that Amon Ra might be out, but we shall see. We shall see what that is. In other news, let's see. Anybody else on? Oh, of course, I'm forgetting Jared Goff, the quarterback. All right, of course, I'm forgetting Jared Goff. Uh, streamable candidate for tonight. Cowboys, one of the best teams to play against if you are a quarterback. So I expect in a 4-point passing league, Jared Goff to get around 20 fantasy points, maybe, 200, maybe 300 yards and 2 touchdowns, 250 yards and 3 touchdowns, somewhere around there. Is what I would expect with the Cowboys defense being pretty soft. On the Cowboys side of the football, we have CeeDee Lamb coming off his touchdown after some bad drops in the last game against the Chiefs. He ended up with a touchdown. George Pickens still getting a lot of targets. So he should be good. Jake Ferguson for a tight end position, especially in a PPR league. Startable, very serviceable player there. And Javonte Williams, you're starting. Dak Prescott, you're starting. I know Detroit's defense. We pulled them up. Detroit's defense, if we pull it up, give me 1 second. Boom. I got Detroit's defense as, sometimes they've been susceptible to the run, but for the most part, they've been pretty good. They have been pretty good, allowing about 100 yards a game and about 2/3 a touchdown a game. So 2 out of 3 games a touchdown. So Javonte Williams, not the easiest matchup, but depending on your roster build, I would say it's probably pretty hard to move off of that. Probably pretty hard to move off of them. Let's see. Did I update the offenses? I'm not sure. Let's check these stats. Passing best. No, I did not update this. Let me get this one updated for the best offenses. Patriots leading passing yards now. Did not know that. And they do it very efficiently. 277 completions and 388 attempts. Drake May, possibly an MVP candidate. Drake May looking like a pretty good MVP candidate at this point. See how he finishes the year, but for how well he has been playing, I think he's got a good chance to be in that race. Who else would be there? Maybe Stafford's there right now. The usual suspects like Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson not looking like it's going to be. I mean, maybe Josh Allen could get it if he ends the season like winning out. But Lamar Jackson, I don't think so. I do not think so on Lamar Jackson. Who else? Who else? Let's see. Man, the Colts were looking so good, but not anymore. Not anymore. Hit a shaky spot. Definitely hit a shaky spot. Oh, man, my Raiders are the worst rushing team in the league. Nice. Even worse than the Titans. That does not seem possible, but it is. But it is. That our offensive line is so bad. It is quite terrible. Firing Chip Kelly shows that didn't matter. Did not matter. Bears quietly having one of the best running seasons this year, right behind the Bills. Last game looks like against the Eagles, the Bears rushing is actually really legit to be able to do that to the Eagles. I think that surprised a lot of us. Or I don't know if I speak for anybody else, but speaking for myself, that did surprise me. All right, let's get some of these. Let's get these updated. Week 14. Passing offenses. All right. No. Wait. I uploaded the wrong one. There you go. Week 14 rushing offenses. Week 14 passing offenses. There we go. It is updated. It is updated. All right. We got that updated. All right. So get this back up. Double check this. Bob, good day. How are you? How are you? Hits or Strange. Also Myers, Sutton, or Ibuka in the flex. PPR. Um, I think I will take. Let me double check their matchups, but I think without looking at their matchups, I'll take Brenton Strange. He just seems to be, for me, a little more consistent. Um, and as at least as of recent, right? Plus the matchup. Um, I'm pretty sure they're playing the Colt. Who are they playing? Playing the Colts, right? Um, yeah, they're playing the Colts. Pretty good matchup there. Uh, More touchdown upside, I would say too, with the Jaguars, right? Um, because Falcons, even if Drake London's out, that's probably what you're thinking, or that's what I would be thinking. In terms of playing Pitts, but you know, uh, I think I'd rather rely on the Jacksonville offense if I were trying to get the touchdown upside. But even without the touchdown upside, I think Strange has been coming up, so I'm playing him this week. Strange, I had both those options too, and I'm taking Strange in a half PPR because I just think his not only touchdown upside but his game flow and usage will be more consistent than Pitts. Um, and then in terms of the flex, I assume that's Jacoby Myers and then Cortland Sutton and Ibuka. Okay. Do we know the status of Mike Evans? Um, because here's the thing. I think, you know, when Ibuka had his good stretch with Mike Evans there, Chris Godwin was not yet in, right? And Chris Godwin is now back. So if Evans is also back, right, you can imagine one of them helping because it now takes the defense attention off of just Ibuka. But then with three of them, in, now the target share can actually be changed, right? So what I would be looking at there, I would say, is if um uh Mike Evans does not play, I think that's when you could put in Abuka. Let me just double check the matchup too. The Saints actually have been decent against the wide receivers. Um, Jacoby Myers is an interesting uh option, but I would say, you know, the length of how consistent he's been in that offense is I don't know if that's necessarily going to be consistent, right? But I think that is an option because he is playing the Colts. You can project the Colts to score, so the Jaguars will probably need to score back too. And Myers does get usage, even if BTJ gets the high usage, right? Myers will still probably get a good amount of targets and needing to score, so that's a decent option. And that is in Jacksonville, so that's a home court. Okay, and then Sutton is playing the Raiders. Oh, that's going to be a good matchup there. Yeah, so again, Bob, I would wait on um Mike Evans, right? And if Evans is not playing, I'm putting in Ibuka for sure. Um, between the three, um, and then I would think I would go for Myers if I'm being honest. Um, if if not, and my reasoning just being is I think there's the most scoring potential. I'm just pulling up his game script um over these last weeks. Yeah, so he's gotten 6 targets in each game, two out of 3 weeks with a touchdown, right? So I can kind of ride that hot hand, right? I can kind of talk myself into riding that hot hand. Sutton, had the good touchdown. if you have the feeling, go with him. But with the Raiders, my only hesitation is since it's a good matchup, but it's either you're gonna hit early or not. Because even though I'm a Raiders fan, all right, we don't score the ball that much, you know. So it's like if you don't hit early, maybe they just don't need to use it. So I think there's the most potential there. Um, and then if you have a feeling for Ibuka, even with Evans in, go for it. It's just for me, if all three of them are in, Godwin, Ibuka, and Evans, I want to see how that target share shakes out before I commit. But Myers is pretty solid for 6 targets a game, and they look to be high value targets in the end zone, right? So I think that's how I would do it. Ibuka if Evans is out. If Evans is in, I'd play Myers. I hope that helps, Bob. Let me know if not, guys. Drop a like if you can. Much appreciated. Let me know, Bob, if you got anything else. Smitty, good day. How are you? Montgomery or Kareem Hunt? Do we know the status of Mr. Pacheco? And how he is doing active. Okay, so he wasn't limited or nothing this week, so he's probably gonna play. You know, I don't think Hunt is gonna lose the goal line work, right? And so I view these guys with Pacheco back. I view these guys pretty similarly in terms of like who they are to their team and like what they're gonna do. The only thing is we know David Montgomery is never gonna be unless he's the like super hot hand, right? But that was like 1 out of the 12 games this season. But mostly Jahmyr Gibbs is gonna be the 60 to 70% workload guy, right? But Kareem Hunt might potentially be the majority share over Kareem Hunt. So you know that one I'm not exactly sure if you know Pacheco's gonna take that many targets. So I'm gonna assume in this analysis that Kareem Hunt has the slight edge in carries and goal line work over Montgomery, just slightly, okay? But I do see them very close in terms of like both of them will get used along the goal line. They're both, you know, mainly ground game, maybe, you know, in a good game script, 15 carries, um, 20 if it's like if it's a really good game script, but uh roughly that same profile player, right? So when I look at the matchups, oh, the Chiefs are playing the Texans. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. And Montgomery tonight. Cowboys have been good against uh the run. So because both of them, you know, don't necessarily have a great matchup, um, you know, and both of them being the same, I'm just gonna give the slight nod to uh Kareem Hunt in the hopes that he is the guy who gets the more work in the backfield. But if you have a feeling, right, for Montgomery tonight, go for it. Um, I know if you look at these matchups here in terms of uh rushing defenses, I know originally the Cowboys looks like they, you know, are a great matchup at over 100 yards a game and a touchdown a game. But recently they've kind of tightened that up a little bit after the trade deadline. So they are a little bit better than they say on paper. Houston's offering a little less than 100 yards and a touchdown a game. So I would roughly see their rushing defenses both the same. Game script wise, it's tough to say, but I think both game scripts will be pretty neutral. So go with your gut, Smitty. My gut just tells me Hunt may get a few more carries, But again, if you have a feeling for Monty, go for it. They're both, not in ideal matchups. So, and they're both a similar type of profile player of like they need a touchdown to kind of maintain their value. And I just think Hunt might have, one or two more opportunities than Montgomery on the goal line. But go for your gut, okay? Go for your gut because it's close for me. It's not like one of them's way over the other, but that's how I would look at it. Let me know if that helps you, Smitty. Drop a like if you can. Much appreciated, guys. Ace, Ace, Bama, how are you? Good day. You traded away Amon-Ra and Charbonnet for Bijan. What do I think? Um, in trades like these, it's hard for me to tell what the rest of your roster build looks like, right? But if you're asking me, is this a fair trade? Definitely. I definitely think that, this is a fair trade. What this looks like to me is that, you have ample wide receiver ones. Like maybe you had like, Amon-Ra, Puka, Rashi Rice, but then you were weak at a running back, and vice versa. This person needed a wide receiver, and it looks like it could work both teams. I think it's fair value trade, right? Without knowing the rest of the dynamics of the rosters, it's always kind of hard to say did somebody win or not. But I think it's fair in terms of like both teams can win. Like it's not lopsided or nothing. So if you needed a running back, right? Like let's say you were uh playing somebody like Woody Marks or something like that, and you're RB2, and now you can put Bijan in, and you were debating, between two wide receivers of Amon-Ra's capability, and there was stale value on the bench. I think it's a great trade. Just have to know what the rest of the roster build is. Hope that makes sense. Ace, drop a like if you can. Much appreciated. Uh, Happy celebrations to everybody who is making playoffs. You're welcome, Bob. And then Smitty says Myers or Montgomery in the flex. So I assume this is another league. Um, and then I am gonna assume that it's PPR here. Montgomery's makes sense in this trade only if it is a standard. If it's non PPR, that's the only reason I would consider Montgomery. But even in a standard, it would be close. And I could still see you playing Myers if you had the gut feeling. But in any type of PPR or half PPR league, I'm taking Myers over Montgomery. Hopefully that helped y'all. Let me know if there's any other thoughts or questions, but much love to everybody and their teams. Let me get this back up. All right, there we go. All right, so Amon-Ra, he's there. Montgomery, Jameson, Gibbs, and Goff. All right. Is Goff there? Goff is there. Okay, and then Dallas, we got Dak. No spam. No spam in the chat. No spam in the chat. Okay, and as we take off real quick, let's just cover the top players of the season as we get into this game. Before we get into this game, let's check that up. Cleveland or Rams defense, I assume. I forgot who the Rams are playing, so let me look that up. I'm playing Cleveland's defense this week. I have Cleveland's defense. I am probably not going to sit Cleveland's defense for the rest of the playoffs. So Browns are playing the Titans. And the other reason, like Cleveland's defense, not only how good they are, but can be appealing, especially at this time of the year, is like it's super cold there. Like what's Cleveland's weather right now? Cleveland weather, it's projected. It's projected to be snowing and 15 mile an hour wind when they're playing the game, and that's kind of like typically what it's like there, right? Because it's an outdoor stadium. Um, at their home games. So like that's kind of why I like their matchups are all real good for the rest of the year. So I think I'm gonna roll Cleveland's defense pretty much throughout the rest of the season. The Rams are playing the Cardinals. Jacoby Brissett, he's been pretty good for like 250 yards and 2 touchdowns a game. Um, so unless the Rams get some sacks, which they can, right? Or some scoring, the Cardinals can score, right? And you imagine the Cardinals to be able to score more than the Titans. So I think the Browns is the safer play. Plus, the Browns are at home and the Rams are away. So when it's a toss up between two defenses, I typically go with the home team if both teams are projected. But since the Browns are both at home and they have the better matchup, I'm going with the Browns there, right? And if you look into then the next week, the Browns, they're playing the Bears. And while the Bears can score, Caleb can take sacks and that team can commit some, funny things. So it's not the worst matchup. And then the Rams are playing the Lions next week, right? So you're probably not going to play the Rams defense against the Lions. So I think it would make sense to roll with the Browns. I hope that makes sense, Bob. Let me know if that helped or not. And maybe if you are going to drop the Rams and you want a second defense on your bench, look to week 15 for an alternate to the Browns. If you're scared of the Bears, maybe there's a defense on the waivers that has a good matchup for next week. Jags are probably not on the waiver, but they might be a decent one. 49ers playing the Titans. So yeah, but the Rams playing the Lions, and then the week after the Rams are playing the Seahawks. So I think you could drop the Rams defense now, like today or tomorrow or whatever, or right before kickoff on Sunday, and pick up your second option of your next week's defense because you're, or yeah, actually I would probably, yeah, wait till then, right? Um, just so nobody could use the Rams defense. Wait to the Sunday morning, drop drop the Rams and then pick up a defense. Or if there's somebody really good and you have to pick them up today, then do it now. Like if it was the Jaguars defense, somebody might pick that up. But the Rams is not worth keeping on to for the next couple weeks. So I would keep Cleveland. Hope that helps you, Bob. Let me know if you got any more thoughts, but much love to you and your team. All right, the game is about to start. We'll get to it in just a second. I just wanted to highlight something real quick. If you look at the top players and quarterbacks for up until this point in time, and when you look at the quarterback section, those are your top 8 quarterbacks: Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Drake May, Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, Matthew Stafford, Daniel Jones, and Caleb Williams. I think the things to note here, Caleb Williams, if you have him, just check his schedule for the rest of the year. He's got a tough schedule. A lot of his games are outdoors. So just like I was talking about Cleveland's weather being bad, Chicago's weather's not much better. So sometimes those can be snowy, windy games too. Green Bay, they play Green Bay, I think, twice. I forget if it's once or twice, but they don't have such a good schedule. Daniel Jones, even I don't expect the rushing upside ceiling like in those first 3 weeks when he had a couple rushing touchdowns with his fractured leg, but he's been showing over the past couple weeks, even with that fracture, that he can still throw the ball. He maybe not all the way deep downfield, but enough. So his ceiling might not be there, but I think he's what's the word? Good enough, right? To at least maintain a semi decent fantasy number. Stafford, I think he just had one bad week. Lock and load him again. Dak's good. Jalen's been up and down. For the guy who used to be the most reliable 20-point a week quarterback, he's been kind of sketchy. So may want a second option there. Not exactly sure, but you're probably going to play him. Drake Mays, auto start. Patrick Mahomes has a tough matchup this week, but it's hard to sit him. And Josh Allen, hard to sit him as well. Rip, how are you? Oh, that's Cole, huh? Right? Let's go. This one's going to be fun. I know, man. Let's get this game going. I hope so too. Let's not jinx it. Let's make sure there's a lot of fun football and hopefully a lot of scoring, right? That's what we're all going to want to see. And Cole, your team, my man, you guys just know how to take it to the very last minute and give they know how to give you fans the most fun amount for your money to watch the Broncos play week to week, man. Holy smokes. You guys have won, almost every game, but I feel like every single game goes down to overtime or the last minute. But congrats to your team. Hopefully this is a good one. Hopefully you guys have some good players in this game. We got this game started off and rolling, and Detroit is taking the first drive here. And Cole says they're crazy to watch. Doesn't matter who you play. It will be a one-score game. I know. It doesn't matter if it's the Patriots or the Titans. It's crazy. It's so entertaining. Like every time I'm like, all right, Bo Nix is legit, and then you guys play the Raiders at 10-7, and I'm like, what is going on? But it's funny. It's so crazy. So hopefully the Broncos will make playoffs and do well. It looks like they're pretty good shot to make playoffs. So look to see what they can do. But we got a screen pass to Gibbs in some open space. He's cutting back and forth, making a couple guys miss, and he's got a good gain on the play, maybe a gain of about 20. On a third down, he ran to the side, set up a screen pass for him on the left side of the field, and in some open field was able to make a couple guys miss and get some good yards. You didn't know Amon-Ra was playing this game. He wasn't supposed to. He was not supposed to play. He was like a super late ad. So no, he was not supposed to play. All right, hit Jahmyr Gibbs again, and he makes a man miss. He's got some open space in the middle, dodges a tackle, and gets it down close to the 10-yard line. And this is where they put Montgomery in, and Montgomery's going to shove in the touchdown. Oh, my God. All right, so 2 good plays for Jahmyr Gibbs back-to-back. Finding some space, both of them in the passing game. Again, with the trades that the Cowboys made at the trade deadline, they have been able to stop the run a little bit better, but they have been a little more susceptible in the pass. They're still one of the worst teams against the pass. So getting Jahmyr Gibbs in some space here with a couple of back-to-back pass plays gets them down to the 11-yard line, setting up another play action and pass to Dwelly, who's probably one of the backup tight ends for Sam Laporta. Sam Laporta getting injured a few weeks ago, getting placed on IR. And Amon-Ra, as Cole said, Rip said, thought he was going to be out with the ankle sprain, but Amon-Ra is known to be a very tough guy and playing through some pain probably. But he is in the game. Handoff to Gibbs on the edge. They tackle him. Nothing there. Loss of like 1 or 2. So it'll be a third down play here. It'll be a 3rd down and 8 for the Lions, who have brought it basically down to the goal line there here in the red zone. Here in the red zone, marching on the door of the end zone. 10-yard line here, 3rd and 8. Shotgun formation, and Goff is looking, spinning out, and he gets sacked. So there you go. The Cowboys defense stands them up for a field goal on the first drive. But yeah, it was a good stop. It was a good stop. Goff looked like if he would have had maybe another step, he might have been able to find something. But again, after that trade deadline, the Cowboys have really their defensive line has been a lot stronger. They're still really weak in the secondary though, so I expect Jameson Williams to get some good usage here. And the kick is up, and Amon-Ra too, I guess, since he's playing. Kick is good, so the Cowboys are down 3-0. The Lions take the first lead here with Jahmyr, Gibbs with a um, couple nice plays there. So let's see. 4.8. He's got 4.8. All right, so good stop by the Cowboys defense, leading to a field goal for the Lions. Now the Cowboys will get the first drive of their side of the football. Decently solid looking drive. Just got stalled up in the end zone for Jared Goff and team. And now the Cowboys will be taking over. Do I think the Cowboys will make the playoffs? Yeah, so that was something I was actually kind of speaking on a couple minutes ago. Let me pull this up again to break it down one more time. So, what's interesting, right, is the Cowboys are not far off now from the Eagles, right? They are not far off from the Eagles. So it is not impossible for them to make the playoffs, not necessarily, just in the wild card race, which is still a possibility. But you know, it's not, I would say, a high possibility if they lose this game, but it's a possibility all the same because uh they're only one game back um behind the Eagles, right? So um I think it's a low chance. Do I think they'll get there? I don't. Um I want them to. I think the possibility is slightly less than a coin flip, Like I would give it like 70-30 odds and maybe 65-35 where, the 65 being that they don't make it just because the Eagles do control their own destiny, right? Um they do control their own destiny. So and their two divisional games are against the the Commanders, right? So if you look at like Philadelphia's schedule, the Bills, right, probably could lose to the Bills. That might be a tough one. But playing the Chargers this week, if they beat the Chargers, they got my Raiders the week after, and we all know how good the Raiders are, right? So, the Eagles have a pretty decently easy schedule, I would say, the rest of the season. So I think control control the cards, right? And then when it comes to the wild card uh races for for the um for the Cowboys, they would have to beat the Lions tonight. That's the only way for them to make the wild cards. They would have to beat the Lions tonight, right? And then after beating the Lions, they would have to hope that like the 49ers or somebody loses, which is possible, right? Which is possible in how good of that division is. The 49ers would have to lose twice, um, which is possible, right? Because they play the Colts, the Bears, the Seahawks. They could definitely lose two of those games if the Cowboys can win out. So it's either Cowboys, win out and this like the 49ers lose twice or uh or the Eagles basically have to lose and the Cowboys still have to kind of almost win out. But yeah, I think it's possible, but I think it's very slim. I think it's very slim. Detroit is pretty slim to make the playoffs too. Like even oh no, you're right. A safety just got hurt, huh? A safety just got hurt on the Lions. No way. No way. That sucks. Yeah. Um yeah, the Lions too though. They have a very slim chance to make playoffs as well. Uh because they don't control their own destiny either, right? Like they would have to expect the 49ers to win like lose 2 games, and you would basically have to say the 49ers don't make playoffs. Um right? Uh or um you know, it's pretty unlikely that both the Bears and the Packers lose 2 more games. It's possible, right? Um, so, you know, pretty much the teams in the playoffs right now all kind of control their own destiny if they can all win and only lose like one time, right? They should all make it. Uh, yeah, I agree. I think this game will tell a lot about these teams. Yeah, I mean, both of these teams are basically fighting for their playoffs lives here, right? So we'll see. We shall see what they decide and do here. So game is getting back on. Dallas is marching the ball close to midfield. Dak going play action, finding Javonte Williams for a completion, but a loss of about 3-4 yards, something like that. Dak was under pressure and had to get rid of it. Um, as Dallas was under pressure from the start, couple guys breaking free into the backfield. And Miracle, how are you? How are you? What's going on? What is going on? 2nd and 15 here for the Cowboys in a shotgun formation. Dak taking the snap, dropping back, firing up the middle, hitting his man, looking like Ferguson for a first down. Jake Ferguson for about a 17-yard completion. So there it goes. Good to hear, Miracle. Good to hear. How's your fantasy team doing? Hopefully you're making playoffs. Dak going for it. Dak going for it. Nothing there. The Detroit back was looking for an offensive pass interference, but no foul called. No foul called. It's gonna be 2nd and 10. So Ferguson was able to get the first down. And then Dak went for the end zone or close to the end zone on first down from the 40-yard line. Could not connect. So it's 2nd and 10. Snap is off. Running up the middle, gain of nothing. So Williams trying to get something going on the ground, nothing there. It's gonna be 3rd down and 9. So the Cowboys have a long 3rd down here to convert to keep their drive going. We got the Detroit Lions trying to hold them and get them to punt. 3rd and 9 here from the 39-yard line. Dak taking the snap, looking, firing, and almost picked off. But looking for George Pickens, nothing was there. Nothing was there, so it's going to be a 4th down, and they're going to have to punt. So trying to set up Pickens for the first down, nothing was there. And they're trying a field goal. 57-yard field goal attempt. The kick is up. And the kick is good. The kick is good. So tie game 3-3. Let me get this score updated. Forgot to update that on the last one. But we have back-to-back field goals, so game is tied. This is indoors, so my mistake on saying it was going to be a punt. I totally forgot it was indoors. Goated kicker. I know. Aubrey's probably got one of the best um best legs in the game, one of the best scores, you know. Um Funny because that used to always be Justin Tucker. Harrison Butker had it for a little while. I think Fairbairn from Houston's been pretty good over the past couple of years too. Um Hold on. Let me get this score downloaded. All right, there it is. So tie game, 3-3, tie game. Well, they weren't they weren't they were not touchdowns, but at least they were field goals, right? So at least we got points on the board. There it is, 3-3. At least we got points on the board. 3-3 for this game. And right now, a lot of people want the Cowboys to win. Holy smokes. A lot of people want the Cowboys to win tonight. I mean, let's think about this, right? Who the Cowboys actually might have a better shot in the playoffs than the Lions because, the Lions, when we look at their defense, normally I think it's a little bit better than this. Um, Cowboys defense is not the greatest, especially through the past. It's probably one of the worst, but they've gotten a little better. I don't know, because I trust Dak more than Goff, right? Trust Dak more than Goff, but I don't know which defense I trust more, and if that overrides who could do better in the playoffs. Interesting to think, because both these guys might be fighting for that last spot in playoffs. The kicker just made a tackle. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. You love it when that happens. You love it when that happens. Okay. Oh, I see it because Kennedy had it on the sideline and Aubrey had to stop him. It was a good thing he stopped him. They could have ran that back for a touchdown. Could have ran that back for a touchdown. Good thing they did not. All right. So here we go. We got 1st and 10. David Montgomery in the backfield with the handoff. Gain of maybe 2 or 3 for David Montgomery. It's going to be a 2nd down. So they're showing the Cowboys defense in terms of yards per game and points per game. They were originally 31st through their first 9 games, last 3 games after the trade deadline, I think. Middle of the pack at about 14th. And again, that was a lot of it is on the running side of the football. Goff throwing the football away. Wow, they call it a fumble. That did not look like a fumble to me, but for now. Okay, no, it is incomplete. All right, other field judge overruled. I was going to say that definitely looked like his arm was going forward. So Goff throwing that play away. It's now 3rd and long, 3rd and 8. Um, all right, so here we go. 3rd and 8. You got Amara in motion here. And everybody's set. Snap is taken. Goff is looking, firing, and pass is incomplete. St. Brown fell to the floor. Looked like they wanted a flag or something. But interesting. So here comes a punt for the Lions. Here comes a punt for the Lions. Flag is thrown. So they looks like fair catch was signaled. There's a flag. They're saying, was the fair catch signal called? Looks like they're debating whether a fair catch was called or not. Head judge, what is the call? 2 fouls, both by the receiving team. All right. So it's back in the Cowboys, up all the way to their own end zone, almost halfway to the goal. So here we go. We got a long field to go for the Cowboys. Tied 3-3. Backed up on their own end zone, 4-yard line. All right, so let's see what they decide to do here. It's 1st and 10. 4-yard line. You got Javonte Williams in the backfield. Man in motion. Handoff. And gain of maybe 2 to try to get them off the back of the end zone a little bit. So run it up the middle with Javonte, gets just a couple. So tight space here, backed up on your own end zone. A lot of times, you just try to run it up the middle to get some breathing room. Let's see if they continue the run game here. 2nd down and 8. Taking the snap, dropping back is Dak, looking, firing, hitting Pickens, who gets about half of what he needs. It'll be 3rd down and about 4. So it'll be 3rd down and about 4. So here they go. 3rd down and 5. It's 3rd down and 5. So 3rd down and 5. Prescott has Williams in. It's directing traffic here. He's in a shotgun formation. Here you go. And Prescott got a safety. Are they going to mark it as a safety? I think so. Safety. Are they calling it a safety? There's been a lot of changes of possession in this first quarter. I know. There hasn't been much there, huh? There has not been much there. Those field goals. So it is very close to a safety. They called it a safety on the field, I believe. And so they're going to confirm it or not here under official review. So not sure what Dak was looking for, but he definitely held that ball pretty long, especially in his own end zone. They're thinking it's going to stand as a safety call here. So let's see. Oh, wow. So they wiped off the safety. Okay, that was a bit. Oh yeah. Rip said the same thing. Cole said the same thing. That was a bailout. I thought that looked like a safety to me. That looked like a safety to me. Oh my goodness. I can't believe they overturned that. There's definitely no room in the end zone. So maybe it would have been better to take the safety. We'll see how this kick goes. All right, they got the kick off. Good kick. You didn't realize the entire body had to be in? No, no, the football has to be entirely out of the end zone. So like say this border right here of my screen is the end zone and my hand is the football. If it's like this, it would be a safety, right? But if my entire hand is out, and pretend the hand is the football, right? If the entire football is outside of the end zone, then it's not a safety. But if the football breaks the plane at all once I'm hit, that's the safety. So that's what I'm saying. It looked like it was a safety because when they showed him holding the football, it looked like that back like third of the football was across that plane, kind of like this. Um, so I thought it was a safety, if I'm being honest. Um, but they said it was clear and obvious to overturn it. Not sure exact. Maybe they saw a different angle than what they showed, on the TV. It looked like the ball crossed, right? Yeah. So the like the ball can cross, and then if you bring it back out and then you get hit, you're fine. But it did look like the ball was partially crossed. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll see if the game comes down to 2 points. We'll see if the game comes down to 2 points, and if it was the Las Vegas overlords on their betting schemes to make that call, because that call was kind of questionable. Um, so it is now Detroit ball. Yes, it is now Detroit ball. Um, Max Vegas called it. I know, right? It's like, oh, too many people bet on a safety in the first quarter. We can't pay this out. We can't pay this out. Oh man. All right. Hopefully, Jahmyr Gibbs should be in since Montgomery had the last drive. All right. Hopefully, everybody's making playoffs. Hopefully, everybody's making playoffs. All right. Oh, they showed a different down the line angle. Oh man, that was so close. That was quite close. Empty backfield for Jared Goff. Shotgun formation. Stepping back. Balls fired. Gibbs. Gain of about 4 maybe. So it'll be second down and about 6. So I don't know. That was a bang bang play. They said it was ball was out. Could kind of see it. It was close. Very close though. All right, here they go. Second and 6. Jared Goff taking the snap. Quick passes on the first 2 plays. And this time he's got the first down. He's got his tight end for a first down, so it'll be 1st and 10. And with both plays being a passing play on this first, looks like they're trying to make some adjustments because, like I said, the Cowboys have been more susceptible to the pass than the run. All right, here they go. Shotgun. Flag is thrown. They lined. That was interesting. They lined up a lineman outside it, and they were gonna pass to him. And they got. That's why he's an O lineman. That's a good one. That's a good one. 1st and 15. That was a good one, Cole. Hits him right in the chest and drops it. He got too excited. It was going to be his first catch of his career. 1st and 15. Here they go. Under center, play action, looking, hitting Gibbs, trying to set up a screen. Gain of maybe 2 or 3. So Dallas stopped it. Second down, 2nd and 13. So here they go. Shotgun formation on 2nd and 13. Goff is looking, firing, hits his man, St. Brown, who might take it to the end zone. Ooh, just short. Nice. 1st and goal. St. Brown taking it down for about 27 yards, they said. Dang, man, I did not think St. Brown will be playing right now. Holy smokes. And there he goes. And he doesn't even look like he's hurt. All right. There they go. So 1st and goal here on about the 8-yard line. Man in motion. Hands it off to Williams. And it looks like he dives for the end zone. Oh, they said he's a yard short. They said he's a yard short. So it's going to be 2nd and goal from the 1. So they had an end around for Jameson Williams. And he steps out. Steps out at the 1. That was real close, though, Jameson. That was a great, great opportunity there. So 2nd and goal. Here they go under center. And Gibbs is into the end zone, and it's a touchdown. Let's go. Let's go. My man, Jahmyr Gibbs with the touchdown. All right. Jahmyr Gibbs with the touchdown to take the lead. Nice drive by the Lions. And Jahmyr Gibbs hacks it into the end zone for the touchdown. There we go. So Jahmyr Gibbs with the touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs with the touchdown, and the extra point is good. So there we go. 10-3. First touchdown scored of the game. Good plays from Amon-Ra St. Brown with the big yard gainer. Jameson Williams to put it on the 1 yard line. And then Jahmyr Gibbs pushes it into the end zone. Jameson Williams has been on a heater too, so just how close he got to scoring there, I think he's going to get another chance later in this game. All right. All right, here we go. Let's download this score, get this updated. All right, so we got the score updated here, 10-3, 10-3. Lions leading. Now Cowboys. Hopefully they can respond. Let's make this interesting, Cowboys. Let's make this interesting. All right, where is it at? I need to take a screenshot of Gibbs' points. 13.66. 12.5. Okay, 12.5. 12.5. All right, there we go. 12.5. Here it is. Open. Oh, wait. Cancel. Not that one. All right. Download. Okay, there it is. All right. Jahmyr Gibbs. Spotlight updated. There we go. Okay, so we got the Cowboys who are now going to take over and get their chance to respond to that touchdown. So here they go. Lions are up 10-3. So Cowboys running it back. Their drive will start on about the 30-yard line. All right. So Cowboys. Oh, wow. Okay, so the Lions have to beat the Bears, the Rams, and the Steelers. So the Rams and the Bears being tough. Okay, here they go. Dak, handoff. Looks like Javonte Williams gets about 6. So they're saying the playoff probability here, Cole. They're saying Cowboys win 39%, the Lions win 55%. If they lose, 9% for the Cowboys, 19% for the Lions. So somebody is going to go down to 9 or 19% after this game, unless they both tie. Unless they both tie. All right, it's going to be a third down. They went with 2 running plays back to back. And it's going to be 3rd and short. So we got 3rd down and let's see, what's the yardage? 3rd down and 1. 3rd down and 1. So here we go, 3rd down and 1 on their own 40-yard line. Prescott gets the first down. Picks up the first down with Flanoy. So here we go. 1st and 10 for the Cowboys. Marching towards midfield. Here they go. 43-yard line, man in motion. And hand off again. Gain of about 3. And this will take them to the end of the first quarter, most likely. So here they go. 2nd down. Second down. End of the first quarter. There you go. 10-3. Cowboys have the ball, marching down the field. So that was a good one. All right. While we are at the break, let's look at some stats here. So headed into this week, Christian McCaffrey, the most points scored, but he's on bye. So points per game wise, Jonathan Taylor. He's got the most points per game. Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson, Devon Achane, all top players are running backs. Jackson Smith and Jigba being the first wide receiver. James Cook, George Pickens, who's playing in this game, as well as Jahmyr Gibbs and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Followed by Puka Nacua, Trey McBride, a tight end. Look at that, a tight end up there in the top scoring players. You got Javonte Williams playing in this game. He's been getting a lot of work on this drive. Devontae Adams catching touchdowns like they're nothing. Josh Jacobs, Kyron Williams, Derrick Henry, Rico Dowdle, Jamar Chase, Austin Gentry, Travis Etienne, Breece Hall, and Saquon Barkley. You know, that's crazy for how bad, quote unquote, Saquon Barkley has been playing. You know, he's still in like the top 20 flex players. And, you know, I mean, after a 2,000-yard season, you know, your expectations are high, but even quote unquote having a bad season, he's still at 12.6 points a game, still in basically the top 20. Let's see who else is worth talking about here. Travis Etienne. Interesting to see what Jacksonville's doing with that running game. Almost looks like Bashal Tuden is starting to get more and more work, and might be split in that backfield. So we'll see what happens there. Ashton Genty in a PPR league, kind of okay, but not getting no work in the running game. We look at the rushing offenses here, and the Raiders are the worst rushing offense. Look at that. The worst rushing offense. Oh my goodness. All right, game starting again. So here we go. Let's get back to it. Here we go from about the 45-yard line, 2nd down and 7, empty backfield. Dak finds his man, but a gain of maybe 2 or 3. It'll be 3rd down and about 5. Really short yardage here on all these passes for Cowboys, Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. Let's see what they can do here. 3rd down and 6. Shotgun formation for Dak. He's got a man in motion. No, we have not called CeeDee Lamb's name or number at all yet. So let's see what happens here. And there he goes, finding Lamb, breaking free, and he gets a 1st down. So there they go, lined up CeeDee Lamb in the slot, get a crosser route, breaks his man, breaks into the secondary and gets a few yards after the catch for a 1st down. So here we go. Now across midfield, and we got across midfield about the 40-yard line, 38-ish yard line. So it'll be 2nd down. Okay, so that safety Harper for Detroit is ruled out with a concussion. He's ruled out with a concussion. All right, so here we go. 2nd and 6 for Dak and team. He's under center. 2nd down and 6. He's got Javonte in the back. Handoff. And gain of maybe 3. It's going to be 3rd down and 3-ish. All right. Here they go. 3rd down and 3 for the Cowboys. Dak is going. He's calling something out. He's got 10 seconds on the play clock. Shotgun formation. Does a little pitch to Williams, and they get the 1st down. Broke a tackle and got the 1st down. Good job, Javonte Williams, to keep that drive going. So Dak set up a pitch. There they go. Here they go. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Fakes the handoff. Throwing, hits his man. Gain of about 7 to Spainford. So 2nd down and 3. High pass, but gets it to his man. Here they go inside the red zone now, about the 18 and a half yard line. 2nd and 3, goes with the running game, and it's going to be about half a yard short. It's going to be about 3rd and 1. It's Malik Davis. All right, here they go. 3rd down. 3rd down and 1. It's a little. Let's see what kind of. They go for it on a QB sneak and they get it. So 1st down. We're inside the red zone, guys. We are inside the red zone. So after Detroit marches down for a touchdown, here comes the Cowboys marching towards the red zone. They're inside the red zone now. All right, here they go. 1st and 10. Under center. Dak Prescott. CeeDee Lamb in motion. Play action. Firing towards the end zone. And no good. 2nd down and 10. Play action, looking for the end zone, was not there. All right, so here they go. Cowboys looking again, 2nd and 10. 2nd down and 10, 15-yard line. Shotgun formation, man in motion, dropping back. Set up a screen, nothing there. 3rd down and 10. They brought a blitz. Dak tried to get rid of it quick. Receiver Williams dropped it, but it's a good thing he dropped it because would have been tackled for a loss. So here it goes. 3rd down and 10. 3rd down and 10. Here they go. Empty backfield, shotgun, dropping back. Prescott getting sacked again. All right, so it's going to have to be a field goal again here. All right. So here comes another field goal attempt. Oh, and it's barely good. It is barely good there. So 10-6. 10-6. All right. Well. 10-6. All right. So when the Lions take over, it's probably going to be David Montgomery in the backfield. All right, let's update this. Scores are updated. There you go. There you go. Scores are updated. All right. Updating. All right. It's updated. Okay, here they go. Here we go. Kickoff. And here we go, the Lions. Oh. Here they go. You need a Gibbs reception? Gibbs got a touchdown, though. Oh, to hit your parlay in the first half? Is it a first half parlay? Or just for the game? Because, yeah, Montgomery is in right now. Let's see. All right. Is the parlay for Gibbs for the half or for the game? Goff is looking nothing there. Whole game? Oh, okay. I think you should get that. I think you should get that. I was worried it was yeah, he's at 3 receptions. Yeah. Um it's funny because one of his runs was like it looked like it could have been a reception, one of those like sideways pitches that is kind of looks like at the line of scrimmage. Um but they called it a backwards pass. Um okay, here they go. 2nd and 10, and it looks like there was a false start. 2nd down. Oh, let's go with glasses. Sounds like you're ahead of me, and he got one. Sounds like your stream is ahead of mine. Let me see. I'm behind. So 2nd and 15, empty backfield after a false start. Here it goes. Oh, and there it is. The Jahmyr Gibbs reception. It's almost like you're psychic there, Cole. All right. Nice work. Nice work. So Gibbs getting close to the 1st down there. Open field. And let's go. 3rd down. They got 3rd down and 2. And they had somebody jump early. Looking for the flag. And no flags. You're also playing against Gibbs, so you're hoping Monty snatches all his goal line work. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. You're playing against Gibbs, so you needed him to get all the you needed him to get all the work for the passes, but then not do anything else, huh? Oh, that's tough. That is tough. All right, a punt is gone because that was like a really weird play that just happened. But the guys did encroach into the neutral zone on the defense, and when the snap came off, a flag was thrown but not called. So Goff obviously thinks he has a free play because the guy jumps into the neutral zone and there was no call. So I feel you on that one, Goff, that you got robbed on that one. I would have that you did the right thing there to try to take the free play. That was definitely a defensive pass. Oh, yes, it is. That's funny, Cole. That is funny. Well, not to be a downer, but the Cowboys are really good this past few weeks at stopping the run, specifically the run. So, uh, I don't know if Monty will steal that work, but maybe instead you could hope for passing touchdowns to go to everybody else. But you hit your parlay, right? So let's go. Do you have any? Is your parlay everything in this game, or is it through Sunday as well? Facts, fact or cap? Fact or cap? Having your Christmas lights up before Thanksgiving is not cool. Fact or cap? Oh, you threw 5 on this game? Who's the parlay? Who's the parlay? So what else do we need to hit? What else do I need to root for you? What else do we gotta root for? All right. All right. All right. Pickens, Lamb, Dak, Javonte for yards. Holy smokes. So you went on the yardage for all the Cowboys. Holy smokes. You took the whole over on the whole offense. Okay. Okay, so we just need a bunch of yards then here. So we need the Cowboys to take it to the end zone, I guess, right? We need them to take the whole drive. Prescott go for it. And he's got Lamb. Well, maybe you hit your Lamb yardage right there cuz he had 33 and he looks like he got like another 30, 40-yard gain there. So he should have like 70 yards now, Lamb. So there you go, CeeDee Lamb. So you got CeeDee Lamb for a big gain there. First and 10 now. Under center. Play action. Dak. And nothing there. Second down. Second down. Detroit brought the pressure. Brought the blitz. That was definitely a backwards pass. That was definitely a backwards pass. Oh, it is a backwards pass. They did call it that. Okay. All right. So they move the ball backwards. Now second down. Loss of 16, so second and 26 now. CeeDee Lamb gain of like 5. It's third down. Third down here. All right. Third down here. Third and 21. Why is Dak under so much pressure? Uh, I mean Detroit bring can does typically bring a lot of Detroit likes to bring a lot of pressure. The ball is out and there's a fumble. And there's a fumble. Oh no. Oh no, there's a fumble. Jake Ferguson taking the fumble. You just watch the same online play against the Chiefs. Oh my god. That's crazy. Oh man. All right, so fumble here. Detroit takes over. Handoff to Gibbs. Finds the edge. Gain of about 3. Should have been tackled for a loss of about 1, but there's a flag. It's probably going to bring it back. Going to be a hold on the offense, most likely. Yep, hold on the offense, 10-yard penalty. All right, so 1st and 20 here. It was a crazy fumble call. That was crazy. Ferguson. Ferguson with the fumble. For 1st and 20 here for the Lions. And it looks like they committed a false start. It is a false start. So there they go. 1st and 25 now. First and 25. So pass complete for TeSlaa. Gain of like maybe 5-ish. 2nd and 17, gain of 8. So 2nd and 17, 15 yards of penalties on this drive, a hold and a false start. Montgomery's in the backfield. Goff going deep, and he finds Jameson Williams for the first down. Jameson Williams for the first down. There you go, Jameson Williams. Dude, he is so fast, man. He is so fast. with the amount of speed that Williams and Gibbs can have, they both could break free for a touchdown at any time. Anytime they touch the football. All right, here goes Goff going deep again. Looking for Jameson Williams deep. Pass is incomplete. It's going to be 2nd and 10. But yeah, Jameson Williams is so fast, dude. Oh. All right, let's see. Here they go. 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Shotgun formation. Snap is off. David Montgomery. Montgomery breaking free. And there's the touchdown. You got your Montgomery touchdown, dude. That's hilarious. That is so funny. That is so funny. Oh, man. Montgomery for the touchdown. Montgomery for the touchdown. You called that, man. You definitely called that, Cole. You definitely called that. Holy smokes. All right, touchdown, David Montgomery. All right, and the Lions take advantage on that fumble. Score a touchdown. Montgomery with the touchdown. All right, what do I got? I got 14.3 from Gibbs. Here, got to update the spotlight, 14.3. And we got to update the score too because David Montgomery decided to run it into the end zone. The Dallas defense decided to allow I was wrong. I didn't think Montgomery would get in the end zone today, but he did. He did. All right, here we go. All right. Update this. Update this. All right. This is exactly what Cole needed. He needed Cowboys to be in a losing game script. So they have to hurry up the football and get some yardage. Get them to the end zone. Okay. And there is a flag, but a nice game. Typically, flags are on the what's it called team? Yep. Holding on the receiving team. Sounds about right. All right, well, here you go, Cole. Let's see. Much love to you and your team. Hopefully, we can get you to the end zone. Hopefully, we can get all those yards. The hold helps you so that you have a longer field to go. All right. So here they go. Starting from the 20, man in motion. Dak dropping back, looking, firing, finding Williams. Gain of maybe 5. So it'll be second down and about 5. They're down 6-17. So second and 5 here. Second and 5. Here they go. Under center. Dropping back, firing. CeeDee Lamb makes his man miss. And good gain for CeeDee Lamb. You should have your yardage for CeeDee Lamb by now, right? Because he's close to 100 yards, I think. So CeeDee Lamb. Here they go. 46-yard line. Handoff. Javonte Williams up the middle for about 4. So Dallas deferred, so they'll get the ball to start the second half, they said. Second and 7. Second and 7. Here they go. Dak dropping back. Firing deep for Pickens. And he's got the flag. And he's got the flag down at the 2-yard line. Pass interference at the 2-yard line. Oh, 2 fouls on the play. Fouls offset replay. They said hands to the face on the line of scrimmage for Jake Ferguson on the block. They got bailed out there. That waves off the pass interference call. The Lions did get bailed out there. They did get bailed out there. Positive news for you, though, Cole. That means that they actually have to get those yards rather than get it for the get it on the pass interference, right? So now this means your guys can get more yardage for your parlay. 3rd and 4. You're thinking the same thing? Nice. Nice, nice, nice. All right. 2-minute warning. Here we go. 2-minute warning. All right, while we wait for this 2-minute warning, who should we talk about? Let's see. Let's go to the passing offenses right here. Passing offenses. So we have a new yardage leader for passing offenses. It's the Patriots. The Cowboys were there first past few weeks, but the Patriots took over after this last week. But you can see on the right, the most best passing offenses in the league. The Rams have the most touchdowns. They don't have necessarily the most yards, but they have the most touchdowns with 32 passing touchdowns. Matthew Stafford is playing on fire right now. But just in terms of good offenses to be on, Patriots, Cowboys, 49ers, Chiefs, Cardinals, Rams, Colts, Lions round out your top like 7-ish. Worst passing offenses. Jets, not a surprise, right? Now they have been getting a little better with Tyrod Taylor, but passing about 150 yards a game right now, about 1 touchdown a game. It's not very appealing, right? Same thing for the Browns, but even less touchdowns. Vikings, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That experiment last week, whoo, did not go over well for the Vikings, yo. Oh my goodness. JJ McCarthy has to be it. He has to be the guy because there is no one else. There is definitely no one else. You are not doing that again. You are definitely gonna have to just roll with JJ McCarthy because Max Brosmer is not it. Titans only have 7 passing touchdowns. They do have more yards than the Jets and stuff, but only 7 passing touchdowns. So, when you look at those guys like Alec Eilmanor and all of them, it's really no value in touchdowns. Not many yards. So I don't trust those guys. All right. Here we go. Dallas back on the field. Let's see. 3rd and 4. 2-minute warning. Passes off. Passes complete. Move in the chains. 1st and 10. 2-minute drill here. Minute 47 left. Dak has 133 yards. No touchdowns. We got 1st and 10 here. Shotgun formation. Dak taking the snap, dropping back, firing, and he's got his man. Oh, just slightly out of bounds. He had it. He had Lamb. He had Lamb open. If the ball was thrown inbounds, that would have been a touchdown. 2nd and 10 here. So Lamb has 4 receptions for 79 yards. Here they go. Shotgun. Finding Pickens, gain of about 8. It's going to be 3rd down and maybe 2, but there's a flag. It's coming back. They're saying it's against Dallas. They're saying Pickens did some type of either offensive pass interference or it was a face mask. Face mask against Pickens. So here they go. 2nd and 25. 2nd and 25. Shotgun formation. Dallas firing, hidden CeeDee Lamb in stride. It'll be 3rd down and about 12. He got about half of it. It'll be 3rd and long. Someone's calling a timeout. So 1 minute left in this half. Here they go. 3rd and 15. 3rd and 15. 3rd and 15. Here they go. After many penalties, 3rd down and 15, about midfield, 49-yard line, just across midfield. Here they go. CeeDee Lamb in motion. Prescott finds Ferguson. Fights himself to about 4th and 3 or 4th and 2. So we'll see if Dallas goes for this or kicks the field goal. Fourth and 4. 4th and 4. Aubrey is in. So 4th and 4, they're going for the field goal. So here they go. 4th and 4. Field goal attempt is here. 55-yard field goal attempt. Snap is down. Kick is up. And kick is good. Wow, that's amazing kick. Kick is good. All right. So because the Cowboys get the ball first in the second half, they decided to kick the field goal. They took the points, and they will get the ball first in the second half. But there's 50 seconds left on the clock, so the Lions will have a chance here to potentially try to, with 2 timeouts, march it down the field and go for a field goal. All right, so here they go. 45 seconds left from about the 26-yard line. The Lions have one timeout. One timeout. All right. So let's see what they can do here. So 1st and 10. Here comes Jared Goff finding St. Brown. Hiccup of about 5. Clock is stopped because he got out of bounds. 2nd and 6, they said. So here goes 2nd and 6. Jared Goff and team. St. Brown in motion. Gibbs leaking. So Detroit hurries up, lines up, taking the snap, firing again. St. Brown gets out of bounds. 17 seconds left. Timeout is saved. Second and 1, 17 seconds left. Clock is stopped. Here they go. 2nd and 1. Snap is off. Thrown over Gibbs' head to stop the clock. 3rd down and 1. 13 seconds left. 3rd down and 1. Lions are up 9-17. They're at about midfield, trying to get a little more yardage for a field goal. They still got one timeout, so they can go over the middle of the field if they want to. And a timeout taken by Dallas. So 43-yard line. What would that be? Like a 60-yard field goal attempt? So it's very, very close. So they're showing the playoff race and how close it is in the NFC. You started, Monty. Good job listening to your gut, Smitty. Good job listening to your gut. This is why it is good to listen to your gut. I would have went with Hunt, so you chose right there. Yeah, I said it was close, right? It was close. So go with your gut, bro, and you did it. You did it. You did it. You got the touchdown. That's all you could ask for, right? You got that touchdown. That's all you could ask for. So they got a pass interference call on the Cowboys, who's working on St. Brown, grabs onto him. Good call. So now 10 seconds left. They still have the timeout, and they're actually in getting towards striking zone of the red zone. And so Goff is looking, and he had his man TeSlaa open in the red zone, who did get free. Here comes the field goal unit, though. Only 4 seconds left. The defensive back fell down, and he was trying to throw like over on the boundary sideline Goff to set up TeSlaa, but just slightly off. And so now it'll be a field goal setup for Detroit here. Dallas takes a timeout, try to ice the kicker. Oh, man. Great job, Smitty, starting Monty. All right, so they're showing how, kind of like how I talked about, the best chance for Dallas to get into the playoffs is for actually Philly to lose and for Dallas to take over their own division. All right, 47-yard field goal attempt. Here it goes. Kick is up. And kick is good. So the score is 20-9. And that's what we're going to at the half. It is 20-9. And that is how we'll start the half. And Dallas will get the ball first to start the half, second half. All right, get this score updated, get the spotlight updated. Halftime coming up here. The Lions are winning 20-9 when the Cowboys will get the ball first in this half. Gibbs got 16.6 points. Half PPR points. Let me update this. 16.6. All right. There we go. We'll get this one updated. Here we go. All right, perfect. That's all updated. All right, let's see. All right. Let's see. All right, coming up this week in the NFL, we have the Titans taking on the Browns. Bad weather expected in that game. Seahawks versus the Falcons. Imagine the Seahawks to win there. Colts versus Jaguars. That's going to probably be the spotlight game. That's a huge game, right? That's a huge game. Colts versus Jaguars. Both of them 8-4. I think they play each other twice too, right? To end the season. They do. Man, so these two games can basically, and the Texans are only a game back, so that division is really close. That's going to be a huge game. Okay, that'll probably be the spot like game. Commanders versus Vikings. Nobody really cares about that one, right? Bengals versus Bills. Now, on paper, it doesn't look that big because the Bengals are 4-8. However, if you look at the Bengals division being 4-8 and they are not out of it. They are not out of it because the Ravens and the Steelers are both 6-6. So, and the Bengals just beat the Ravens, right? They play the Ravens again. So that's interesting to say the least, right? And then I believe the Steelers and the Ravens, they do play each other twice. So, because the Steelers and the Ravens play each other twice, they could potentially beat up on each other in those games, right? Um, and if the Bengals are able to beat the Ravens, right? If they're able to beat the Ravens, and because they beat and split the Steelers, if they can beat the Ravens, and let's say the Ravens split the Steelers, I believe the Bengals will end up taking the division, which is crazy to think about as a team that is 4-8 right now. They could make the playoffs even if they don't win out because their division is so bad. And they actually are leading their division because they've been winning their divisional games. That's so crazy. It is so crazy. All right, what else? Other games. So Bengals Bills will be a fun game to watch too. Bucks Saints. You imagine the Bucks to win. We shall see if um Mike Evans comes back. Steelers Ravens. That's a big game too. That's pretty much just as big as Colts Jags. And then Dolphins Jets. Whoopee. In the afternoon, Broncos versus Raiders. So Coles Broncos are probably going to destroy my Raiders. But who knows? Last time we only lost by 3. The Rams are playing the Cardinals and the Bears. Oh, Bears playing the Packers. That's going to be a big one in that afternoon. Texans versus Chiefs is going to be a huge one too. And then Eagles Chargers is going to be a big one. So the afternoon and the evening game. There's actually a lot of high profile games on this week. So Colts Jags is one, Bengals Bills, Steelers Ravens, um, Bears Packers, Texans Chiefs, Eagles Chargers. There's 6 high profile games. 6 high profile games this week. That's probably the most that we've had in a long time. So this will be exciting. This will be exciting. Am I streaming the second half? Yeah, I think I'm gonna stay on for a bit longer. And then if the game stays competitive, I'll probably continue to stay on. Um, I I just but if the game gets out of hand, I might end it early, or if it stops being entertaining. But so far it's been pretty entertaining. Just Dallas hasn't converted on any of their drives, right? They got 3 field goals instead of touchdowns. But I think it's pretty competitive so far. So yes, as of right now, we'll be here second half. Just going to take quick bathroom break. BRB drop questions or in chat. All right, be right back. All right, back. Okay. All right. Is this Fitzpatrick and Whitworth and Richard Sherman commenting on the game? That is interesting. All right. So the Dallas Cowboys will be taking it in the second half. Hey, the Temptations are doing the performance for the halftime show. Very nice. For Thanksgiving, they had Eminem in Detroit as a special guest. All right, let's look at the top performers by position. Let me see. So we went over the quarterbacks. We went over the top running backs. The Saquon. Wide receivers. Wow, I can't believe Tedero McMillan is up there as number 7. That is crazy. That is so crazy. So you got Ibuka and Tedero McMillan, the freshman wide receivers up there. Both Javonte Adams and Puka in the top 5. Tight ends, who's of notice? Trey McBride with a commanding lead as the best tight end, followed by Travis Kelce. Tyler Warren's been so consistent. He just like scores like 10 half-point PPR points a game, like every single game. But no real upside, but no real downside either. 11.4, 9.9, 5.3, 15.8, 12.4, 15.3, 14.9, 7.3, 5.1, 13.9, 7, 9.7. Just always in that range. Jake Ferguson also around the 10-point mark, but he's had a couple duds. He's had a couple tough games. Brock Bowers. Unfortunately, he has a terrible offense. So while he's caught multiple touchdowns in 2 games, had really inconsistent play on some of the other games, not to his fault. Just our Raiders offense are not great. Man, Tucker Kraft was doing so good until he tore his ACL. It wasn't the most insane amount of receptions, but he did have some great games. And let's see. All right. Here we go. The third quarter is getting underway, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Third quarter's getting started. Let's celebrate together. Woo! Much love. All right, so Dallas gets the ball to start the half. They're down 9-20. You know, Dak and Dallas just have not converted any of their drives into touchdowns, been all field goals. Um, so let's see if they can get something going here for a touchdown, first drive of the second half. Let's see if Dallas can score a touchdown here. All right, here it goes. Here comes Dallas. So they'll start out about the 30-yard line. All right. So they're going to take over around the 30-yard line. The Dallas Cowboys. Here they go. Shotgun formation for Dallas starting on the 30. Shotgun. Oh, and the ball's popped up and intercepted. Oh my goodness. The ball is popped up in the air and intercepted. That is crazy. Oh man. Wow. Wow. Interception. Ball popped up in the air. And there goes an interception. All right, so Detroit shotgun formation. 14-yard line. Looking, got Jameson Williams, gain of about 2. So, good defensive play by the Detroit Lions defense. All right. So, 2nd and 8 here. Open touchdown. Isaac TeSlaa with a touchdown. Boom. Touchdown. Jared Goff for the touchdown. Isaac TeSlaa. I do not have an Isaac TeSlaa card, but Jared Goff. Touchdown to Isaiah TeSlaa. All right. And that makes it quickly 27-9. That was real fast. All right. The score is updated. Man, I know Pickens is great, don't get me wrong, but I had a couple bad penalty calls, and then the interception came on his route right there. All right, let's see if the Cowboys could turn this around. They really need to score a touchdown right here. They need to get that back and reset. He's gotta get it. Gotta get it. He's gotta score here. Keep the morale of your team going. And here comes a run on first down. Picks up about 3 yards, be 2nd and 7. So there you go, 2nd and 7. Shotgun formation, taking the snap, dropping back, firing, and is caught in a flag, CeeDee Lamb. Pass interference defense, penalty decline, first down. CeeDee Lamb. Wow, what a catch. Takes off those drops he's been having. All right, good run game there. Javonte Williams for a first down. Now they're in the red zone. They are in the red zone here. Got to score. Score quick here and get back that touchdown they just gave off. All right, 19-yard line. Here comes the pressure. And Prescott's hitting Pickens for the end zone. Not there. There's a flag. Penalty marker on the field. Holding on the defense, automatic first down. One-on-one for CeeDee Lamb, and they held him. So there they go. 14-yard line. Dak Prescott, shotgun, takes the snap, firing, and it's incomplete. Oh, but CeeDee Lamb's hurt now. Oof. Man, he tried real hard to grab that. He's walking off on his own power, but he's limp. He's definitely limping. So we'll see what's going on with him. 6 catches for 121 yards for CeeDee Lamb. Second down and 10. Here we go. 14-yard line. Second down and 10. Takes a snap, firing, caught, gain of 4. 3rd and 5. So here they go. Third down. Third down. Prescott's directing his troops. With CeeDee Lamb out, 3rd and 5. You got to imagine CeeDee Lamb being out. Pickens going to be the number 1 target. Ferguson's probably the number 2 look here. There it goes. Looking, firing. And pass is no good. 4th down. What do you do here? 4th down and 5. They've settled for field goals until this point, but they're keeping the offense on the field here. So here they go. They're going for it again. 4th down and 5 on the 9. Taking the snap. Firing. And it's caught. What is going on? Pickens had it. There was like a fumble or something. First down. Okay, so he fumbled it, but he cannot be a forward progress. All right, so 1st and goal here. And timeout taken, maybe? Injury timeout? Ferguson in motion, handoff. Williams about half a yard short. It'll be 2nd and goal. And CeeDee Lamb is still on the side of the field. So here they go, 2nd and goal. From about the 1 yard line. And Javonte Williams with the touchdown. Javonte Williams with the touchdown. Javonte Williams for the touchdown. Let's go. I think I'm playing against Javonte Williams, though. Oh, man. CeeDee Lamb's headed to the locker room. Oh, no. All right. So, at least they scored there. So that interception did not ruin them. All right. Updating the score here. You have Monty and Javonte. Nice. Nice. You got both. Touchdowns. Here we go. This is for you, Smitty. All these celebrations are for you. You're saying Daniel Jones, Stroud, or Tua. I would not start Tua out of all those guys for sure. Let me pull up these matchups real quick to confirm. Give me 1 second. So Daniel Jones. Oh, he's playing Jacksonville, right? So that's pretty decent matchup. Here, let me pull up the passing stats too. Uh, there we go. All right, so okay, it's at the Jaguars, and then the other one was Stroud, right? Who's Stroud playing again? The Chiefs. As long as the weather's okay in Jacksonville, I think I'm playing him. Daniel Jones, but let me double check couple things real quick. Oh, there is some rain forecasted. Not much wind though, so it should be fine for passing. All right, so here's my thought process, right? Tua is he's terrible. Um he's like for him to break 200 yards is insane right now. Um they're just he's only passing like 20 times a game. So I would not trust Tua just because there's like limited opportunity there. It's it seems like you know he it seems like the Dolphins are okay just what's it called? The the Dolphins are just okay running the football, right? So that's why Tua is completely out of it for me. The Jaguars, I expect to be able to score against the Colts, and the Jaguars, if we look at who they are, they stuff the run pretty well. Um, but if we look at the passing defenses for the Jaguars, they do allow about 2 touchdowns a game. You could see them for about 2,900 yards and 22 touchdowns. So I think there's some potential there. Now, the Texans Chiefs game, you can imagine would potentially as well, be high scoring, but you can also foresee uh the Texans, with how good their defense is, if the Chiefs don't score, maybe they slow the ball down too, because the Chiefs are okay playing a slower game. Jags and the Colts, they like to play quick games, which means there's a lot more scoring opportunity. That's why I think I would play um that's why I think I would play um what's it called? Daniel Jones in the situation. But again, you chose right for Montgomery. So if you have another feeling that is not Daniel Jones, go for it. But if you're seriously contemplating Tua, he's the one I for sure would kind of hesitate on, just because you look at like his pass attempts and his yardage, it's just not there. Um Oh, it's okay. Gibbs caught it. First down. First down. Smitty says, "Oh my God, Gibbs." So Gibbs lined up as a receiver and gets the first down. Jukes his man. And he got the first down. All right, let's see. Here we go. 2nd and 10. They try to trick play on 1st and 10. Nothing there. All right, so this is now an 11-point game. Um, what happened to my? Where'd my update go? Let me update this score real quick. All right. Caught by Jameson Williams, they're saying. All right. Here we go. Not who are you going to start, Smitty? Who are you going to start? Who are you going to start for those quarterbacks? All right. Here we go. First down from across midfield from the 39-yard line. Jameson Williams in motion. Handoff to Gibbs. Gain of maybe 1 or 2. Not much there. All right. So they're saying what I was kind of saying too. Dallas's run defense is pretty good. So Gibbs only has less than 20 rushing yards, but Dallas is the one of the worst teams against the pass. So Gibbs is hitting them through the pass with like 70 yards through the air. So nothing on the ground, everything through the air here. All right, Gibbs getting hit again, pushing a man off. Stiff arm. It's gonna be third down. It's gonna be third down and short. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5 here. So Dallas's defense doing a decent job holding them to a medium length 3rd down. Let's see if they could stop them here. Shotgun formation. 3rd down and 5. Snap is off. Firing. No good. No good. Looking like it's going to be a field goal. Goff is kind of mad. I don't know who messed up, but there was 2 receivers in the same spot. Jameson Williams and St. Brown were both there. And it was a drop there by St. Brown. Here comes the field goal. 0.6. No good. No good. All right, so here it goes. Here it goes. The Cowboys are now going to take over. Take over on downs. The field goal was partially blocked. Partially blocked there. So down by 11. Down by 11. Here they go. Down by 11. The Cowboys are taking over. They are taking over because their opponent All right, everything should be updated. Everything should be updated. We got 16-27 here, Cowboys versus the Lions. The Cowboys are in need of another score here to bring it back to a one possession game. So they're lucky here that they're able to partially block that field goal attempt. And let's see what happens on this drive. So kind of sucks for the Cowboys that CeeDee Lamb is out of the rest of the game with a concussion. So here they go. You got first play with the run, Javonte Williams up the middle for a couple yards, maybe about 3 yards. 2nd and 6 here. So George Pickens is going to have to take over here with CeeDee Lamb out. Down 16-27, taking the snap. Dak looking, firing, finding his man. All right. Ryan Flanoy gets the first down over the middle of the field. It's kind of a zone coverage, and no one picks him up. So here they go. Running game again. First down, nothing there. It's going to be 2nd down and about 9. So 4.5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. All right, here they go. 35-yard line, 2nd and 9. Dak dropping back, firing. And he's looking for a flag. Nothing there. There is a flag. Holding by the offense is going to back them up. Holding on the offense backs them up. So here they go. 2nd and 19. 2nd and 19. 45-yard line. Dallas. Shotgun formation. Dak dropping back. Firing over the middle. And he's got his man. Looks like Jake Ferguson. It's 3rd down. 3rd down. Wow, finishing it. Ball gets batted in the air and he still brings it down. All right, here they go. 3rd and 9. Gain of 10 after that 10-yard penalty brings them back to 3rd and 9. Dropping back, firing. And a wide open. George Pickens illegal screen. Man, he's had so many fouls here. George Pickens, man. He's great. He's so good, but he's has so many fouls in this game. He's definitely one of the main reasons. Dang. All right, here it goes. 3rd and 19. Back on the 45-yard line again. All right, here they go. Prescott firing. Incomplete. All right. Man, Pickens, that was a terrible route. 63-yard field goal attempt here. Kick is up. Man, this guy is so good at kicking field goals. Field goal is good. Holy smokes, man. Oh my goodness. 63-yard field goal attempt straight down the middle. That's so impressive. That is so impressive. All right. One possession game again. One possession game. 1927. 2-point conversion needed though. All right. Let's see how they are going to respond. The Lions, how will they respond here? Let's see what they decide to do. All right. All right, that is updated. And all right. All right. All right, we're updated. Okay. So far in this game, it looks like, funnily enough, the kicker Aubrey for Dallas is the best player. um, all right. So we got a kickoff happening here. Dallas is going to kick off to Detroit after they just kick a 60-yard field goal. So here they go. 32-yard line. The Detroit Lions will be taking over on the 32-yard line. All right. So here we go. Here we go. One score game. David Montgomery in the backfield. He's got a hole. get close to a first down. David Montgomery with the run. Gain of 9. 2nd and 1. So here they go, 2nd and 1. Handoff. Gets the first down. So here they go. So they had the extra lineman in. They switch back out. First and 10. Here they go again. First and 10, 45-yard line. Fakes the handoff. Goff throws the play away. What is the flag? Hold on the offense, probably. Illegal formation. 5-yard penalty. First and 15. First down and 15. All right, here it goes. First down and 15. 40-yard line. Fakes the handoff. Goff looking, finding Jameson Williams. There they go. 2nd down. 2nd down. Good completion. Here they go. 2nd and 2. Handoff. And they get a first down. Take it to the 4th quarter. $19-27. They will probably let the clock go out here to the 4th quarter. 1 possession game. So here we go. 19-27 going to the 4th quarter. The Lions have the football. The Lions have the football. So let's see. This game, we got where's this box score at? Oh, here it is. We got for the box score. David Montgomery running 52 yards, 35-yard gain on that touchdown. All right, so Javonte Williams got 49 yards, 14 carries, and a touchdown. CeeDee Lamb had 121 yards until he got a concussion. Jake Ferguson's got 43. George Pickens got 3 receptions and 22 yards. So he's got a lot of fouls. George Pickens hopefully could make something happen to make up for it. Coming up on Detroit side of the ball, David Montgomery's got 52 yards with a 35-yard touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs got 77 yards through the air. So we'll see. This is the start of the fourth quarter here. We'll see what they decide to do here. First and 10 for the Lions. First and 10. Looks like it's going to be a false start or something. Yep. False start by the offense. Oh. Here we go. It's a close game. It's a close game. First and 15 here. First and 15 here. All right, David Montgomery in the backfield. First and 15, under center. Hits Montgomery. There is a flag on the play. It's probably going to be a hold, I wonder. We'll see what the foul is. Offsides. Second down. So here they go. Second and 2. Second and 2. Montgomery. Shotgun formation. And Montgomery's got another hole. There they go. First down. TeSlaa's in now. All right. 29-yard line. Goff is looking for the whole thing. He's got his man, but no feet down. TeSlaa for another one. There is a flag. Holding by the offense. 10-yard penalty. Bringing them back. All right, bringing in an extra lineman. They got 6 linemen in, I think. First and 20. Handoff. Gibbs slips. Second and long. Second and long. Gibbs slips at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there. Second down and 22. All right, here they go. 2nd and 22. It's Goff finding St. Brown. 3rd down. 3rd down and long. Here they go. 3rd down and long. 3rd down and 13. Third down and 13. And Jameson Williams. Nowhere to go. It's going to be a field goal attempt. 4th down. All right, here they go. 4th and 9. It's 46-yard field goal attempt. Lions are up 27-19. Kick is up. Kick is good. So 2-score game again. 2-score game again now. All right, that is updated. That is updated. Let's see where we're at right now. All right. We're going to need some big drives here from Dallas to keep this game close. No CeeDee Lamb. So this is going to be big. All right. Hopefully Dallas can move the ball on this drive and score. All right. So the Lions are winning here 19-30. 19-30. We'll see if anything good could happen here. All right. Kickoff from Lions to the Cowboys. And Cowboys will need a score here decently quick so they can get the ball back and need to score again. They need to play good defense as well because the Lions cannot keep scoring. So take into the 30-yard line. 30-yard line. The pressure has been on Dak Prescott, and that is for sure. That is what the announcer said, and that is very true. All right, here you go, Dak. Here you go, Dak. Under center, 30-yard line, man in motion. Fake the handoff. Look in, running for it himself. He's got to get the first down himself. So first down for Dak. Brought the pressure, flushed him out, ran for it himself for the first down. George Pickens is on the sideline right now. Shotgun formation, 42-yard line. Snap is off. Javonte Williams, first down. Get in it. Cross midfield. So here they go. Cross midfield, 47-yard line. Shotgun. Dak fires, finds his man. Gain of about 4 or 5. Second down. Second down and 5 here. Dak's looking. Dropping back. Firing. And wide open man. And he walks it in the end zone. How did that happen? Busted coverage or what? Dak to Ryan Flanoy for a touchdown. Wow. Wow, touchdown. Oh no. The corner and the safety had a miscommunication. Dak Prescott found it right away. They are going for 2 here right now. They're going for 2. So Dak's empty backfield because they're down 5 right now. Trying to bring it to a field goal score. Looking, firing, and he's found Jake Ferguson for the 2-point conversion. It's good. It is a 3-point game. Now, Dak Prescott. Boom. Touchdown and the 2-point conversion. Let's go. Let's go. It's a close game. This is an exciting game. This is an exciting game, guys. Crazy game. Crazy, crazy game. This is a really good game. 27-30. One score, field goal game. Let's see what the Lions decide to do here. They're only up 3. All right. Let me download this and upload it. All right. Score is updated, guys. The score is updated. All right. So we got Javonte Williams. Okay. Dak Prescott makes up with it on that 2-point conversion. All right. Touchdown. Forty-two yard touchdown. That's what it was. 42-yard touchdown. All right, let's see. All right, guys, this is exciting. This is super, super exciting. Here we go. All right, let's see what Detroit responds with. How are they going to respond? All right, 40-yard line. Great run from Tom Kennedy on the punt return. So the Bills. All right, here they go. Under center. Jared Goff hitting Jahmyr Gibbs. Big pile push. Nowhere to go. What's up, Cole? I know this is a crazy game. It was a crazy game. It looked like it was out of it for a second. Once Dallas intercepted and then uh Detroit scored after the half. I was like, "Oh crap." But they brought it back. Second and 8. Second and 8, 43-yard line. I hope you got most of your parlays. I imagine the only one you might need is George Pickens, maybe. Um, I don't know exactly what you need, so I'll still be rooting for you. I'll still be rooting for you. But I imagine you hit your Dak and your CeeDee. Maybe you hit your Ferguson. 3rd and 6. Here we go. 3rd and 6. Shotgun formation. And he's found Jameson Williams. There's a flag, though. There is a flag. It might be roughing the passer call here. Roughing the passer. Oh, man. Bad foul by Dallas here. So the completion will stand for Jameson Williams, but then an extra 15 yards is getting added to the end of the play, so they're basically in the red zone. Half the distance to the end zone. All right, so here it goes. 1st and 10. First and 10 from the 13. Man in motion. Pitch backwards. And got Gibbs for about 4. 2nd down and 6. Oh, 2nd and 7, a gain of 3. 2nd and 7, a gain of 3. 7.5 minutes left. Detroit's winding this clock down. Here comes another run. Hole up the middle, and he gets the touchdown. Let's go. Let's go. Touchdown. Jahmyr. Jahmyr Gibbs. Touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs for the touchdown. He's got good blocking, hole up the middle, and he just makes it. Okay, 10 point, or it's 9 right now. Hold on. The extra point still has to be good. Kick is up, and kick is good. It is a 10-point game now. All right. Let's go. Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs with the touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs with the touchdown. Boom. All right. His score's updated. Let me get the game score updated. All right. Let's see if the Cowboys can respond. Can the Cowboys respond? All right. Bum, 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 bum. All right. Let's see. There it is. Update. Update. All right. There we go. All right. Much love to everybody. Let's celebrate together. Let's see. Passing offenses. Rushing offenses. Rushing defenses. All right. Everything's good and updated. We got a crazy scoring game here. 27-37 is going to be the Cowboys' ball, and they are going to need to score quick. They will need to score quick. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens here. It's going to need a big... Let's see if... Let's see if Dak Prescott, George Pickens, and team can do something quick here. 7 minutes and 17 seconds left. So there is time on the clock, but they will need to score and make these efficient possessions. They cannot turn the ball over. They cannot take a long time to score. They're going to need to score quick. 3 or 4 minute score. Let's see what happens here. All right. Let's see what happens here on this drive. If they don't score here, might be over. Injured player on the field. Injured Lion on the field. Okay. All right. So we're waiting for an injury timeout. This game is almost over. Let's see. So in this game, Cowboys, Dak has 270 yards. Javonte's got 60 on the ground. CeeDee Lamb has 120. Ryan Lanoy's got 75. Jakes Ferguson's got 43. And George Pickens is the quiet one. Goff's got 270 yards. Montgomery's got 60 on the ground. Gibbs only has 29 on the ground. Jameson Williams got 97 in the air. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's see what the Cowboys do here. Down by 10. Dak dropping back, looking, having to escape, sacked. Sacked at the 23-yard line. So second down and long now. So second and 19 after the sack. Here it goes. Dak dropping back, firing. He's got Flournoy close to a first down. Been having a real good game, Flournoy. He's got like 100 yards. 100 yards and a touchdown. Dak's taking the snap, firing, and he's got George Pickens for a gain of about 7 or 8. Clock is still winding. 6 minutes left in the game. Down by 10. They got to keep going. All 3 timeouts still. First down, handoff Javonte. All right. If scored by 319, so they're saying 319 is the number that they need about 3 minutes and 20 seconds left. So it's 5.5 minutes left. Prescott trying to avoid the sack. Gain of about 1. Almost sacked. Aiden Hutchinson having a really good game today. So second and 9 here. Shots taken. Firing. It's caught. Less than 5 minutes left. 4 minutes and 50 seconds left. So here they go. Cowboys marching 30-yard line, 1st and 10. Snap is off. Handoff on the ground. Gain of about 2. 4.5 minutes left. So 4:22. 2nd and 8. Takes the snap. Fires. No good. No good. 3rd and 8. 3rd and 8. 20 seconds left. 3rd and 8. Here they go. Dropping back, firing. Finds his man. 1st down. Flournoy again. He's the man right now. 4 minutes left. 4 minutes and 5 seconds. 1st and 10. So here they go. Inside the red zone. Finding George Pickens, and it's going out of bounds. Should stop the clock here. So 3:54 left. Second and 3. 2nd and 3 for Dak Prescott. 2nd and 3, shotgun formation. Takes the snap. Firing, nothing there. It's got to throw it over the head. 3rd and 3. 3rd and 3. 3 minutes and 50 seconds left. 3rd and 3. 11-yard line. Empty backfield. And Detroit's going to take a timeout. So they take a timeout. Third and 3. All right, here they go. Here they go. 3rd and 3. Shotgun formation. Prescott fires, and a flag is thrown. It's sounding like a defensive foul. All right, they're still figuring out the foul call. Oh, it was offensive pass interference? That felt like a home court advantage call. Why did they call it on? Wow, bad call. Wow. First player in NFL history, 3 field goals, 55 yards. All right, they're walking Branch off the field. Wow, they blamed Ferguson for that. Foul call. That was bogus. "29-yard field goal attempt." All right, here they go. Field goal is good. So brings it to a 1-possession game. 1-possession game. That kind of seems bogus. Felt like a uh defensive call, but they called offensive pass interference. I didn't believe it, but that's what they called. All right, so 1-score game here, guys. 1-score game. All right. Here they go. 1-possession game. 1-possession game. Let's update the score. Okay, there it is. All right. All right. Come on. I don't even know what I want here. What do I want? I guess I want the Lions to 3 and out so the Cowboys can try again. I don't really trust the Lions or the Dallas defense to do that. Sorry, not Lions, Dallas. So here it goes. 3:40 left in the game. All right, here they go. 1st and 10. 1st and 10. You got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. You got 1st and 10. So here they go. Handoff to Gibbs. Up the middle for 2. Oh, man. Safety, Brian Branch getting carted off the field. His ankle. It's a big one. 2nd and 9 here. Next snap. Second and 9. Play action. Fire. Amon-Ra St. Brown. St. Brown. Tackled inbounds. He is not injured. All right. This might be the game here. Oh, yeah, he was out. Well, knee went down inbounds, so the timeout is taken. 2 minutes and 25 seconds left. The Lions basically can just run it up the middle. All right, if they score the touchdown here, it's game over. Or you. All right, here it goes. All right, 13-yard line. Pull to the edge. Gibbs is going to walk into the end zone. Oh my goodness. Wow, what a play, yo. What a play. Let's go. 3 touchdowns for Jahmyr Gibbs. Celebrations, guys. Much love. All right. That's going to do it for me tonight. The game is now over. Much love to all of y'all who watch. Best of luck for this week. Appreciate y'all watching the video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Bye-bye.